morning, everyone. My name is Sarah, and this is a gentle yin class. So this morning you will need a yoga mat, a couple of blankets, blocks if you have them, maybe a pillow. I grabbed a pillow. If you have a bolster, that's great also. So whatever props you need in your regular practice, gather them around you. So this morning I want to talk about the art of being quiet and listening. So if you're quarantined at home, you may be noticing that you've become a little bit more quiet. And if you're an introvert, that's really a nice thing because you can really get more creative. You can, you have time to really think and not have to deal with other people. If you're an essential worker and you're dealing with those people and you're thinking, man, I wish I could be quarantined, my heart goes out to you and for all the work that you're doing as well. So we're going to start with some breathing this morning, and I invite you to do an alternate nostril breath. So get comfortable. Find that comfortable seat by sitting on something, maybe a blanket, a block, a pillow, like I'm sitting on a pillow right now. Just to raise your hips up a little bit and then maybe move a little flesh out of the way. And take a moment to lengthen your spine. So take a deep inhale, lengthen your spine. And then on the exhale, roll your shoulders back a little bit. And then see if you can find something to relax and let go of. Maybe scanning your body and just noticing where you feel a little tightness this morning, and send some breath to that area and see if you can just let it go. All right. Let's do some alternate nostril breathing this morning. So I'm right-handed. I'm going to bring my right hand up to my face, and I'm going to block my right nostril with my right thumb, and then breathe through the left side, and then block the left side and breathe through the right. So you're alternating your inhales and your exhales. And I will walk you through the first 2 or 3 breaths, and then you can do it on your own. So take a big inhale. Block the right nostril, exhale left. Inhale left, block, exhale right. Inhale right, block, exhale left. Inhale left, block, exhale right. Inhale right, block, exhale left. And just continue on your own. Beautiful. One more. And release that down. Just breathe through both nostrils and just notice how that felt. Did you feel like you could even out your breath a little more now? Nice. And take your left hand out to the side. Inhale up tall. And then exhale your right ear over to your right shoulder. Just let your right ear fall over to your shoulder. I was doing some yoga with my mom the other day on FaceTime. She has a little iPad. And when I tell her to do this stretch, she always brings her shoulder up to her ear. And I always remind her, relax that shoulder down. And then bring your head back to center and bring your right hand out to the side. Big, tall inhale, lengthen your spine. And then on the exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Make sure you didn't pull that right shoulder up to your ear. Just let your head relax over to the side. You should feel an opening in the right side of your neck. Bring your head back to center, and then just let your chin drop down to your chest. Just let it hang, let your head be heavy. And then roll your head up to the left and look to the left, and then just slightly raise your chin up to the sky. And then roll your head down, and then bring it up to the right. Let your chin come up to the right. And we're going to roll back and forth here. So letting your head roll down to center and then rolling up to the left. Raising your chin to the sky and then let it roll back down and lifting up to the opposite side. And just continue going back and forth here. Paying attention to how this feels on your neck, your shoulders. Moving slowly with intention. And paying attention to your breath. And then bring your head back to center. Bring your fingertips behind you. Take a big inhale, lengthen your spine, and then slowly lift your chin to the sky. Bring your shoulders down your back. Big stretch up. Beautiful. Release that back to center. And then take your legs, if you're seated cross-legged like I am, just take your legs out in front and just kind of shake them out. And pat your legs here. Come all the way down to your ankles and then move all the way back up and then come back down again. We'll do the insides of the legs and then back down again. Just getting a little heat going on there. All right, and then bring your feet back, bending your knees. Your feet about 6 inches apart or so, maybe more like a foot, depending on how that feels to you. We're going to do a forward fold here. We're going to melt into this and bring your hands with your palms facing up under your legs. So just take your hands and kind of gently fold them under your legs. But at the same time, see if you can pull your shoulder blades down your back so that you're not just rounding like this, but rather hinging down low. So think about pulling that tailbone out from underneath you. So a flat back at first, and then just keep walking your hands under a little bit. And then when you feel like you can't go any further, you feel this in the hips and the low back area, then begin to fold your torso forward. And maybe your arms will go a little bit further. And start to relax your upper body here, your neck, your face, your jaw. Take a nice deep inhale and let out a big sigh. Continue to focus on your breath. Send some relaxing breath to your hips and your low back. The Dalai Lama said, when you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. If you listen, you may learn something new. This is an opportunity for us to listen, go inward, take another really deep inhale from way down low. And on the exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper, maybe folding just a little bit more. Gently shake your head, yes and no. Begin to wiggle your fingers a bit. And then slowly start to rise up here, coming all the way up. Nice. And then bending your knees, bring your feet pretty as wide as your hips. And then let both knees float over to one side, letting that hip come up in the air. And then inhale the arm opposite where your knees are, just reach back behind you. And release that down and bring your knees over to the other side. And then inhale that opposite arm up, reaching behind you. Nice. All right, release that and work your way into tabletop. So coming with your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders. And let's just do a little hip circle here. So taking your hips around, noticing how your low back and hips feel here. And going in the opposite direction. Nice. All right, from here, take your left leg out to the side. And just pause there and notice how it feels. And then if you want to, you can grab some props. You might have to get up and get either your blocks, your blanket. So what we're going to do is cut down on the forearms. So just find something you can prop yourself up on here, and then just pause for a moment and notice how this feels. If you can, see if you can drop your left hip a little bit for a deeper stretch in the groin area. And if you feel okay here and you want to go a little bit deeper, then you can take your prop and move it out of the way. You can absolutely keep your prop there. Or you could try it down, and then if you don't like it, prop yourself back up again. So just take your time, pausing wherever you are to breathe and pay attention to your body. Find something you can relax. Beautiful. If you're down off of your prop and you want to go a little bit deeper, you can kind of make a little pillow for your head, bending your elbows, maybe coming down a little further. Or you could put a block here or something for your head if you want to relax your head and your neck. to release that, working your way back up. And then very slowly start to pull that leg in. Take your left leg back and just shake it out. Circle your left ankle. And then bend the left knee and make some big circles with your left leg. And go in the opposite direction. Nice. Release that left leg down. Bring your big toes together, your knees wide, and sink back into a child's pose. Your version of a child's pose. If you want to reach your arms out or bring them behind you, you decide how you want to do that this morning. We're not going to be here too long. And take a moment here to listen to your left hip. Just noticing how that left hip and your left leg feel compared to the right leg. Just listening and noticing. And then begin to wiggle your body a little bit, wiggling your hips, your shoulders, and work your way back up into tabletop. And then taking the opposite leg out to the side, your right leg this time, unless you did the opposite. And just pause there, notice how it feels. Each side's going to be a little bit different. And then grab your prop if you want to take a blanket, a pillow, blocks. And see if you can come down on your forearms and notice how that feels. You might want to take that leg a little further out. You might want to pull it back. Just pay attention to your body. And see if you can pull your shoulder blades back a little bit. And then if you're here with a prop and you want to go down a little deeper, remove the prop, come down on your forearms. Pay attention to your breath here. And then maybe you want to come down a little bit more, bending your elbows, making a pillow for your head, or putting a block or something here. And then very slowly allow yourself to come back up. And gently release that right leg. Shake it out behind you. Bend your right knee and make some circles. Go in both directions. And release that knee down and circle your hips and your shoulders around. So let's do a little cat-cow here. So line yourself up. And on an inhale, drop the belly, lift your tailbone, pull the shoulder blades back and look up. Exhale, round your spine, looking towards your navel. Inhale, drop down and look up. You know what to do. Exhale, round. And move 2 more times with your breath. release that and come back down onto your mat. Grab a blanket or a pillow, probably not a block here, and find a seat and take your left leg out straight in front of you. Your right leg is bent with your foot to the above your knee. And then if you have a block, you can grab that here, or a pillow, whatever prop you'd like to have, bringing it to the inside of your leg. And just flex that left foot. And spread your toes apart as far as you can. Keep trying. And then release that and point your foot away from you. And then pull that foot towards you, point your toes towards you, spread them apart again. And then point that foot away from you. And then one more time, pull the foot towards you, spread your toes apart, and then point it away from you. Nice. All right, we're going to hinge at the hips here, or bend forward at the hip level. So make sure you're not just rounding over like this, but trying to hinge a little bit before you round your upper back. So take a big inhale to lengthen your spine. Make sure that tailbone is out from underneath you. And then on the exhale, hinge forward, finding your edge. Keep that foot flexed, and then allow your body to just fold over. Maybe you have your prop up enough where you can rest your head on it. If you don't like having a prop there, you certainly don't have to use it. And then find something you can relax and let go of here. Relax your upper body at this point, your face, your jaw. Listen to your breath. What is your breath telling you in this moment? Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and begin lifting your torso up, your head coming all the way up. Bring your fingertips behind you, or facing forward I should say, just kind of leaning back. Pull your shoulder blades back and lift your chin to the sky. And release that, coming back to center, and then undo that leg. Just bring it out in front, kind of shake everything out. And then take your ankles and make some circles. Go in both directions. Nice. All right. Now we're going to switch legs. So bringing the right leg, unless you did the opposite, right leg out straight, and then bring the left leg in. Make sure that you're not tucking that tailbone under here. So sit on the very edge of your blanket or your towel or your pillow. And then flex that right foot and pull the toes towards you and spread them apart as far as you can. And then point the toes away from you and pull them together. And then again, pull that foot towards you, far as you can bring it towards you. Spread your toes apart. And then point that foot away from you. And again, pull the foot towards you. Spread your toes apart. And then point it away. All right, bringing that foot back, flexing it. We're going to hinge again at the hips, doing this side. So sit up nice and tall on an inhale. And on the exhale, hinge just a little bit, finding your edge. Each side's going to feel a little different here. And then when you feel like you can't go any further, you can round your upper spine and just fold into this. Just let your upper body relax slowly into it. Maybe you're using a prop here, maybe you're not. And relax your face and your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Relax any gripping you feel in your body. See if there's something you can let go of and relax just a little bit more here. And slowly begin to wiggle your fingers a bit. And then lift yourself up, walking your hands back. Lifting up to a tall spine. And then bring your fingertips behind you, pointing forward. And just lean back on your hands. Pull your shoulder blades back. Lift your chin to the sky, your heart arching up. Nice. And release that back. Undo your leg. Shake it out. All right, so work your way back into tabletop again. And do a little hip circle here. And then we're going to work down into a puppy pose, or a heart melting pose as it's called in yin. So just keeping your hips stacked over your knees. Bring your hands way out in front of you, and then slowly start to bring your heart towards the floor, your chest towards the floor. And this is where you could put a prop in here. You could grab a pillow, a blanket, a block for your head. This is a shoulder opener, of course. Maybe your head comes all the way down to the floor. It's just stretching out the shoulders here. Pay attention to your breath. And then take your forehead and gently roll it either on your prop, your blanket, or on the block or on the floor. And then find some stillness again. shoulders. Beautiful. Slowly begin to release that, lifting up, and work your way down all the way onto your belly. So coming all the way down, elbows under shoulders, spread your fingers wide, and then take your legs one at a time and just lift them up gently and stretch your toes out behind you. Press your elbows into the mat and press forward and up. Bringing your head up, pull your shoulder blades down your back. Relax your gaze, find something that your eyes can rest on. Or you could close your eyes here. Relax your hips. Relax your jaw. Notice how your belly presses into the mat or the floor on the inhale and draws in on the exhale. Follow that movement. Take a big inhale here, and on the exhale, slowly turn your head over to the left. Just kind of looking over towards your right shoulder. And then bring it back to center slowly. Take another big inhale. And on the exhale, move your head over to the right. Pausing there, looking towards your right shoulder, keeping your neck lifted and tall, and then slowly move back to center. And then begin to release and come all the way down, making a little pillow for your head. And then bend your knees and let your feet swoosh back and forth. Make some circles with your legs, with your feet. And relax your legs down. And take a big stretch here. Take your legs out wide and take your arms out wide, just stretching like you're hugging the earth here. You can bring your forehead down on the mat. And then release that, bringing your hands under your shoulders or your chest. Press yourself up and come back into another child's pose. Any version of a child's pose that you like. Think about breathing from your tailbone up through the crown of the head. Listening to your body here. Listening to your breath. And then bend your elbows, bring your palms together, and then let your palms float behind your head. Maybe you walk your elbows out a little bit more in front of you for a little bit of a bigger stretch. And relax here. And then slowly begin to release that, letting yourself come all the way up and then come onto one side of your hips. Bringing your legs out in front. And work your way down, all the way down onto your spine. We don't need any props here right now. Just come all the way down and take a big stretch. So stretching your arms out, your legs out. Connect the back of your body with the earth here. And then bring your arms to cactus arms. And bring the soles of your feet together. Just making a connection with all the back of your body to the earth. And then take your head and roll it back and forth a few times. And then find some stillness. And breathe. And very slowly begin to release this by bending your knees, bringing the soles of the feet onto the mat. And release your arms down by your side. And take your knees and let them float back and forth a few times. All right, and then bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. So flexing that right foot. And then pull that left leg towards you. Reach through and grab the back of your leg. Pulling it towards you until you feel that first edge. Maybe you press your right knee away with your right elbow. Keep your right foot flexed. And then circle the left ankle around. And then find some stillness. Relax your shoulders. Relax your breath. You could stay right here if you want to go a little bit deeper. Take your hands and move them to your shin. And then bend that shin, pull that left leg towards you a little bit more. Bending your left knee a little more. Pay attention to your right hip. Send some breath there. Relax your shoulders a little more. All right, slowly start to release your hands a little bit and start to bring both of your legs over to the left until that right foot comes all the way down onto the floor. And then maybe you can hold on to that right foot with your left hand and then roll back onto your spine, taking your right arm behind you for a little twist. Keeping that right knee up in the air. Just paying attention to your right foot, the iliotibial band there, listening to your body. And then maybe you take your head and turn it over to the right. Move slowly with intention. And then very slowly turn your head back to center first. And then begin to unwind here, taking that leg across, coming back onto your spine. Bring your knees into your chest. Find a little rock here. And then reach through and grab your both ankles, pulling your feet towards you and kind of pressing your knees to the outside. And then again, you can find a little rock here. And release your legs back down to the mat. Take your feet really wide on the mat and then bring one knee to the inside. May not come all the way down to the mat. Just kind of let it float to the inside, letting your hip come up in the air. And then take the opposite knee in. Remember, keeping your feet really wide here. And then let that hip kind of come up in the air. And just move back and forth like this a few times. Taking your knees into the center. Gently moving. And then release that, bring your feet back to about hip distance apart. And take your left foot, ankle on top of the right knee. Keep that foot flexed. And then pull that right leg towards you. Reach through, grab the back of the leg, pulling it towards you. Maybe pressing the left knee away. Each side's a little different, so take your time. Finding that first edge. Breathing into it. Boy, I can tell I'm not doing enough yoga. This is really, I can really feel it in my hips today. See if you can relax your breath a little bit here. And then maybe you stay right here. If you want to go a little deeper, take your hands, move them to your shin, to your right shin. Bend that knee a little bit more and maybe pull it a little bit closer to you. Pause here and find your breath again. And then start to release that and take that right foot and swing it, left foot and swing it over to the right. Holding onto that ankle, if you like, with your right hand. Trying to press the knee up in the air a little bit. Find your edge. And then slowly take that left arm behind you. Opening up, maybe getting that shoulder to the floor. Just find your edge. And then slowly start to turn your head to the left. Wherever you are right now is where you need to be. Come back to your breath again. And then very slowly start to bring your head back to center first. And then begin to unwind that leg, coming across onto your spine. And holding onto your knees to your chest, make some circles on the ceiling. Go in both directions. And then reach through and grab your ankles, pulling the feet towards you, pressing your knees away, and find a little rock here. And then take your left leg out long on the mat. Pull your right knee in towards you. Breathe deeply into your left side. Grab onto that left knee and start to pull it across your body. We're not going to go into a full twist here, just a gentle little twist over to this side, pulling that knee over. And then bring it back to center. Bring your knee back up into your chest again. Circle your right ankle. And then let that right leg go out long, kind of shake it out. Got too many props around me here. And then pull your left leg up into your chest, holding it in tight. Breathe deeply into your right side. And then take that right knee, pull it across there. Just exploring a little bit to see where it's going to go. And then bring it back to center. Pull that left knee into your chest again. And circle the left ankle. And release that leg out long, shake it out. Take another big stretch here. So reaching your arms overhead. And then release that. And roll over onto one side, giving yourself a moment. And then use your top arm to press yourself up. And I'm going to invite you to go do legs up the wall today for Shavasana. So if you have a wall nearby, you don't need to see me to know how to do this. You all know how to do it. You could put a blanket down. You could take your mat with you, whatever you need to get comfy. If you want to cover yourself up with a blanket. So just take your time, find your wall. You can come to the wall sideways, bringing your hips sideways, and then work your legs up the wall that way. I'm not going to join you in it because I'm going to start a little meditation with you. So take your time to come, to bring your legs up the wall and pull your shoulder blades under your body. Bring your palms face up. Take your head and roll it back and forth, easing any tension you may have created in your neck. And begin to focus on your breath again. Finding a calming, relaxing breath. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just breathe. When you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. very slowly begin to wiggle your fingers a bit. Wiggle your toes a bit. And then bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. And see if you can listen to your breath again. Listen to your heart and listen to your breath. Using this opportunity, this moment in time to listen. What do you hear? What do you notice? Remember that you can come back to that at any point in time throughout the day today. Then release your hands and bend your knees. And just let your feet, the soles of your feet come together down the wall and pause there for a moment. And then pull your knees together and roll over onto your right side, giving yourself one last moment. Remember, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. And work your way up to a seated position. And let's all share a breath together by inhaling the arms up. And then exhaling all that beautiful, calm energy back into your heart to carry with you throughout the day today. Thank you for practicing, everyone. I miss all of you so much. Namaste. Bye. Have a great day, everybody.